Hey, it's Mike Wallace again, Derby Fever, here on my 6th video. Just as a precursor to this video is going to cover some of the stuff I've missed over the last couple of videos, so I won't get into breeding yet. I'm going to try to do that video later today because I know that's the one that everyone's clamoring for. And honestly, I'm be interested to see exactly what happens because I haven't gone through all the breeding things myself, so hopefully it's right. The other thing is, if you like Judas Priest and haven't checked out Rob Halford's stuff post Judas Priest and Fight, he's in a band called Halford now. It's really good. I'm kind of surprised by that. It's if you take the best of Judas Priest and not all the weird stuff they had on their early albums, a little more straightforward, pretty good stuff. But I'll get back to what I'm supposed to be doing now instead of telling you about bad music. I always fashion myself a music critic, and hey, it is what it is. Anyway, what I'm going to show you now is a few things. I'm going to show you how to add a new stable, because I know some people want to add stables quite regularly. Right now you have to sign in with a new email address and etc., etc. It's kind of a pain. Well, we've changed that now. Pretty much to sign up for a new stable when you already have stables. I have an e-test case and e-mic stable, but that's not enough for me. I need more. I'm going to hit account and hit this add stable. Now it's going to give me a name here. I don't have to accept this name. It's just kind of guessing based on my name or logged in. So it just guessed eMike0 because I'm logged in as eMike. I know some people like to follow through with a test case 1, test case 2, test case 3, etc. It's kind of what it's guessing. So I'm not a big fan of the eMike0 name. So let's call this, we've got e-test case eMike. How about e-Bill Gulch? I don't think I have one of those. And what it's going to do now is, instead of giving me horses like it's done in the past, it's going to give me 80 points, and it's going to give me $80,000 of sim money. That's going to go down with every stable. So your second stable you get, so your original master stable, you actually get horses in, but you also get 100 points and $100,000 sim. Second stable you get 90 points and 90,000. Third stable you get 80 points, 80,000. Fourth stable 70 points, 70,000, etc. Reason is we just don't need to be giving away horses for no reason anymore. Part of the joy of the game is actually playing it, and it weighs heavily on the system when people go start snagging horses. So I'm going to make you go out and get your own now. You can go out to the auction, you can go out to claims. I'm giving you more points, I'm giving you more money, so there's not as much an excuse not to go out and get it if you understand how to play the game. So that's what's going to happen now. So anyway, what happens here is all I have to do is request the stable. And if it's available, it just logs me right in. There we go. Logged in, or I'm still e-test case in my master stable. So I guess it forces me back to a master stable after I create one, no big deal. But now you can see I have this new e-Bill Gulch stable. Fabulous. Easy pickings. No emails, nothing of that nature. Pretty easy to add. The other thing I'm going to show you now, because I've added a new stable, is let's go back to stable finance. This is something as well that you couldn't do in the old game that you can now do, but you can only do it on a limited basis. You can add money to a stable that needs money, but only up to $100,000. So, for instance, this e-Bill Gulch stable has $80,000. It says I can add money. That's what this big blue dollar sign is. And the stable it would come from would be the stable I'm logged in as. So I could add money from my e-test case stable to my e-Bill Gulch stable here. And so just in case you needed money, this is actually going to be helpful when you start hitting, if you have a stable that's getting near $0, because if you go negative in dollars in a stable, you cannot enter stakes races for that stable. So that's a pretty big problem. So what you can do is you can transfer some money over, cover, keep it afloat, so to speak. I'll show you what happens when I log into e-Bill Gulch. This blue dollar sign turns into 2 red dollar signs. And what that is remember, I'm logged in as a stable, so I'm logged in now as e-Bill Gulch, and what it's telling me is I can give money from either the e-Mike stable or the e-test case stable to the e-Bill Gulch stable. So I'm going to do that. Let's give it from e-Mike because I have a little more money in there. And let's throw in, say, $10,000, but I'm going to try to cheat the system. Let's be sneaky. I can only add up to 100,000 total, so I'm going to try to add 107,000. Hee. When I hit test, well, it's not going to let me do that. It locks me down to 20,000 because post-transfer, e-Bill Gulch can only have 100,000. So that's the most it's going to let me add. So, what the heck? Let's go ahead, transfer the 20,000. Confirm it. Okay, now it warns me that it's going to take me about 15 minutes to do this. Honestly, It should take about a minute or two, as long as the back end of the game's running. I'm going to set here. We'll hit this button a couple times and see if it actually does that. Or I can move on here. But just wanted to show you this and explain that. Remember, I was telling you that some things in the sim don't happen in real time. This is one of them. This doesn't happen instantly. I forced the back end to do some testing to make sure that everything jives out. And so yeah, it may take longer than a minute. It may take a few minutes. This sweep happens. It should really happen every minute, but it can take a little longer if the back end of the game is processing races, things like that. So we'll come back to this and make sure that the 100,000 got put in later on. So because right now or the 20,000. Yeah, right now he's still not put in for some silly reason. So here's what it is. We'll check back later. It warned you though. It says, hey, you know what? It may take up to 15 minutes for this to happen, so don't don't freak out if it doesn't happen right away. That's why. Well, there's exactly why, because I've got an error on my back end. So it's trying. It's actually, I looked at my code while it's doing this, and it's trying to copy over, but it didn't. So I'm going to have to fix something on the back end. So anyway, I tell you what, I'm going to pause that, and I'm going to pause this for now, and then I'll come back in a minute and we'll finish this video up. Alright, I'm back, and as you can see, I've added a stable since then. Ran into a little problem on the back end. This is actually the nice thing about going through and making these YouTube videos for me, is I am testing everything. Stuff that probably hasn't even been tested necessarily by the beta group. One of those things that I just ran afoul with, for those that were curious, is that I added an account and then I tried to transfer money to the account too quickly. For you guys, that won't be a problem because I just figured out what caused that. So let's see what I can do now to fix, or not fix, let's see what I can do now to go forward. But we'll go ahead and exactly show you what I was talking about earlier. Let's say we wanted to transfer a stable, or transfer money from eTestCase to eOnc now. So we would just hit the $. So transfer 7,000. We'll test it. We'll continue. Confirm. Now if I'm right now, what will happen here in a couple minutes, probably even less than a couple minutes, is that we will see that the nice eOnc stable will get some money, get a nice infusion of $7,000 worth of cash here within the next couple seconds. We hope. Otherwise, I'm going to have to can this whole video, and I don't want to do that. I think there's some pretty good stuff on the first. Oh, there we go. Ta-da! As you can see, what happened is the $7,000 moved, and now eOnc has the 7,000. eTestCase doesn't. So yippee skippy, I've made it through that part of this video. And again, I apologize for errors, but you know what? It's better that I find them now than post-release, because I don't want 30 emails telling me what a moron I am. I get enough of that from my family. So let's see what else I can show you here. Those were primarily actually the things I wanted to show you in this video. Oh, I know what else I'll show you in this video: the races, because this is nice. Let's say this is totally different. I like the way this came out. Some people may or may not, but the difference is now, instead of having a big screen of just all the tracks, you can pick your tracks. So say that right now we're only running West American tracks anyway right now in the beta, so we can click that and we can look at the race entries for these. They've been checked. If we wanted to eliminate a race, all we'd have to do is deselect that race. So no Arizona races now, no British Columbia, no California. We'll update the list, and as you can see, they're gone. You don't have to deselect all of these to get one track. You can click on the track. For instance, say we wanted to look at California, we just click on California, and even though he's not checked, if you click on the track, it overrides the check marks. So you can do that. Hey, look, I got a 1-9 horse in this race, so I'm looking pretty good there. The other things that are worth noting on this is you can sort between all carded, which is we're looking at race entries right now, so not races that have results. You can look at races that are still open for entry. And actually, I guess we had to hit California because that's where we were looking at. These races are open for entry still, so I could enter one of my horses in here. These races, if I choose closed, are closed. And then what I can also do is we can see right here, the first one's an allowance race, and it's got a broken link. That's my fault. I uploaded a bad picture, and I can actually, maybe I'll go edit that shortly and show you how to do that. But the other thing that we can do is we can filter out by claims. So say we're only interested in claims. So then we hit up, or actually we want to hit California because that's where we're focused at. And it's only going to show the ones that are in California. Now let's say, for instance, I wanted to enter a claim for one of these horses. Eventually I'm actually going to put a claim finder directly in the game. I know some people are going to find that very disturbing, but you know what? My secondary sites, I've had residencies and I've had tool guys do it forever. So really at that point, my theory is why keep things from players in the game that they can go get other places? It really is a bait and switch. If I don't put it directly in the game, don't get the impression someone's not out there doing it, because they are. So really, if I put it directly in the game, I give everyone the same level playing field that's someone who's going to go out and create claim files. So that's the way I look at this. It's not ready yet, and we'll put a claim finder in there eventually. But let's say, for instance, I sorted it down to claimers, and let's say I want to put in a claim for War Image. Just click claim, okay, and it's on the EONC because that's who I'm logged in as. You can log out and re-log in. Now this is, unfortunately for this screen here is so big, it really, to get back and forth to it, it's a little clunky right now. I'm going to try to work on making it a little nicer eventually. But the claiming, and this is worth noting, you can put in as many claims as you want for a stable, but you can only put in 10 claims at a time. So no more of that 5 per stable stuff. It's 10 claims across all of your master stables. So that's worth noting. And as you can see here, if you look at the EONC, it showed, I think I mentioned this earlier, I put in a claim for a $25,000 claim, or it let me know I've got $25,000 in a pending claim, and also potentially pending lose 50 points for the stable, or not lose, use 50 points, because that's what a $25,000 claimer cost. But anyway, that's how that works. The results page, if we go to recent results, or not recent results, let's go back to the races and look at California again, and we'll focus on race results. Hit California, and it'll show you a lot more information than it used to. It shows you the quarters and the halves. Gives you the updated badges. The reason I don't put the badges on the entry page is because if they updated too fast and you didn't want to know the results, you could find it. But yeah, this gives you, your results. So, and also for your individual race results, and I think you already know this, for if you're don't want to go through here to find all your results, you can just go to recent results from the stables and it'll show you your recent results. So I think I may have done this beforehand, but yeah, Swing the Cat finished 3rd in this race, and it's actually surprising. He's pretty horrible. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up for now, and I will come back soon with a breeding video. I think this should cover at least some of the new stuff as far as transferring money and how to navigate race screens, and we'll try to clean it up over time, make it a little more user friendly. I think it's more user friendly than it was, but I do have to get this thing up sometime this year, and actually within the next couple weeks, otherwise I'm going to run afoul with the 1 million race problem, so we don't want that. So I've got about a minute left, and what I wanted to show you real quickly in that minute was, let's go back to the races real quick, and if you look at the race entries, just any of them, what you're going to see is you're going to see this capper. What the capper is the capper tells you most likely what this horse's best distance and surface are, as well as a color underneath that shows how good the horse is racing. If you go down to the bottom, you're going to get this hot and cold kind of bar, and this is used all over the site now, so get used to it. But yeah, it gives you an idea. These horses are unraced, so we have no idea what their distance and surface are. It's no promise that that's the way it's going to work out, but that's just generally speaking. So anyway, that's it, and I will move on, and we'll start working on the breeding and maybe some bulk race buying here in a little bit. See ya.